Good morning. Here we are on the 8th of July 2026 and we're at Bardsea on the Furness Peninsula. That's the initial view, and in a second we'll do our introduction to the walk with our walk leader. Alan Ralston is a walk leader today and he will explain a little bit more about it in a second. As I said, Alan's leading today. He's going to tell you about the walk. Here's the map today, and can you give us a bit of a overview of the walk, please?
Yeah, good morning everybody. We're down at one of these two car parks, I'm not quite sure which. We're going to follow the coast along, which would appear to be almost northerly, until we get to around about here and head off west. Bit of a zigzag round. I'm led to believe since the map was produced there's been some more house building around this area. Then we move south for a reasonable distance and head off back east, back just around the bottom of Bardsea. The weather's fantastic, and we'll leave it at that for now.
Thank you. And just sweeping the camera around, a view of the Morecambe Bay from the north of the bay, obviously looking south at the moment the tide's out. Glorious day. This is the road from Ulverston to Barrow. Handy for parking right on the shore, and there's absolutely a cafe opposite which will be very useful for some. Oh, very good. Just starting the walk. We often complain about the lack of facilities, and here is this public convenience, WC to you. Obviously nature is taking over, and as one of the members had just said, when was it last open for business? And finally starting the walk proper now, walking away from the coast up this rather pleasant road. So continuing through the Bardsea village, suitably delightful, quite pristine. And coming up there's even an old phone box. I'm sure is used for something else, perhaps selling eggs or redistributing old paper books. Continuing away from the village, coming to obviously a fork in the road. Lovely countryside. Lots of people don't often think of the Furness Peninsula as being as beautiful as this, but it's certainly well worth a visit. Now we're just proceeding, as you probably could see, one of these wooden paths, I mean a path with wood at either side. This one, not that I said before, is well cut back, which is really wonderful. We don't have to machete our way through like sometimes we have to. Well, hello again, just filming. If you ever get a chance to come up this way, it's absolutely brilliant. We're just saying about all the people who jam themselves into the lakes, a bonus, and have trouble parking, have trouble finding somewhere to meal. Because you can't get more bucolic than this. The only people we're sharing the road with is a flock of sheep.
Can we let Bob catch up?
Now there's a deviation.
See their sign couple. We're heading from Mount Barrow. Oh, yes.
Our leader has made a decision that we can cut off the road here, allowing for the crossing of the sheep here. Yes, there may not be herds of wildebeest filing majestically past, but the sheep are quite quaint. This year's lambs probably. Now we've just stopped for our 11s and we're actually walking towards Ulverston. I'll try and zoom. You can see, hopefully, somewhere in there, the Hoad Monument, the inland lighthouse thing you can see across the Morecambe Bay. In contrast to the path further back, we're now going down a path that hasn't been walked very much or cut back in any way. It's not too high, the grass is quite pleasant, but we've just come out of a footpath where the nettles were getting quite high, and I'm walking with my leggings on because I don't like getting nettled, and many of us are covered in insect repellent because we're firmly into sort of horsefly season. The last time we did this walk, this housing development was being started, and I think we noted at the time that, like a lot of places, Ulverston, which was a country market town, is now becoming surrounded by, or not quite surrounded by, new housing development, which of course is happening everywhere. We're coming down to some of the ones which have recently been finished, so the countryside is giving way to this housing development. To illustrate the point, what you could hear is a bricklayer's angle grinder. We're going to go down here, and the fencing, temporary fencing, is leaning to one side, so we're hoping we can get past. To illustrate the point further, you'll see we're right on the perimeter of the estate, and this fencing is rather unfortunately leaning into the footpath, which is not good. Obviously nobody from the site is bothering to pull it back straight, and another hazard for people who walk down footpaths. Going back to what we said before, the path which should have been taken is down there, has been cut off. Now the developers may have got it done properly through the local authority, Westmoreland and Furness, but we're now off the path and onto the road. To continue the theme, we're now walking down a road on the edge of the housing estate. The addition of the OS map that we've got, a lot of what is on the map is now occupied by this housing estate, and this has been done in the last 2 years. I don't know how up to date the OS map is, but where this housing close is here, we would have been walking. So to finish off the subject of this housing estate, that's the developer's sign, and we're back on the coast road, and you can hear the traffic. I won't say it adds to the wonderfulness of the walk. Having negotiated the main road and the housing estate, we're now back onto lush meadows, walking towards Morecambe Bay. Now we just stopped for our lunch, and this sheep's raiding party to nick our sandwiches. There you are, the luncheon group. Now we've come back to the northern shore of Morecambe Bay, and I just turn, I'll try and zoom the Kent's Viaduct. That's to say, the railway line over the River Kent. I'll hold it steady, so it's a bit difficult in zooming. Continuing along the foreshore here, it's actually quite pleasant. There's an abundance of brambles, and I would imagine in a few months' time an abundance of blackberries. As we're walking along now again by Morecambe Bay, catching up to the main group of walkers. Fascinating place, because from here you can see across to the right across Morecambe Bay to Lancashire, the Lancashire Fells, the power station, and probably on a clear day you might even be able to see Blackpool Tower. It's well worth a visit round here as it's easy to park and it's not very crowded, even on busy days in the lakes, etc. This is the Buddhist monk establishment at Bardsea. I won't do too much. There's a temple we can go in, but I'm not too sure whether the might be a bit dark in there. Anyway, that's it. Now we've left the stately elm thing, which is occupied by the Buddhist monks. Actually used to be called Conishead Priory, and obviously it's run now by the Buddhist monks and their organisation. And there's a cafe there if you want one. We're dropping down through the wooded park of Conisborough Priory back down towards the Morecambe Bay. The embankment here was the original, it was a railway line, there was a branch line here to the Priory. The Conisborough branch, I think in the 1930s and up to possibly the early 60s, there used to be, it was owned by the equivalent of the National Union Mine Workers, who used it as a rest home cure for miners who had various mining related disease, pneumoconiosis, etc. What I'm trying to get is the train coming over the viaduct. Try not to wobble too much. There you go. Pardon the wobble.